myself once again. I am heading the Department of Chemistry in Amity School of Applied Sciences in Amity University, Lucknow campus. I have done my PhD dissertation at a very prestigious research institute from Medicinal Chemistry Division of Central Drug Research Institute of Lucknow. I have done my post graduation from prestigious Lucknow University and my graduation from Navyog Degree College, which is again affiliated to Lucknow University. My 12th is in Army School, Bangalore, and I have done my 10th from Dayanand Saraswati Vidyalay, Abohar, Punjab. So I have been to a number of places. My childhood is at many different cities of India. As I have mentioned that I have been to a number of different places. So I have been brought up in Calcutta at one time, and then in South Bangalore at the other time. I have also been to Punjab, Jalandhar, and Jabalpur, and also in Madhya Pradesh, Jabalpur, and also in Uttar Pradesh. And this is yes, correctly said, ma'am. My father is was an army personnel, and he was in Army Education Corps. So he was a teacher, and he is the one who is the first and the earliest influencer to me. And being a teacher, he always used to get lot of books from his library and used to read it out to us. My mother also has been very significantly influential to us in our personality building, like, because she was a very caring, affectionate mother, and she used to enchant mantras and read out books and tell us lot of stories to us, which inspired us right from the beginning to be a very brave and strong and inspiring girl. And so did my father, and they both are my earliest influences in my life. Chemistry was my fascination right from my school days, when I used to do experiments. Out of all the subjects in science, I found chemistry very interesting when I used to do crystallization. My earliest experiments of crystallization of Mohar salt or copper sulfate or alum that we did in class 8th or ninth, and also the reactions like titrations, which were the color changes were involved. So these were my earliest fascination, and I was slowly getting attached to chemistry. And when I came to Lucknow University, then again a number of colored reactions, especially with organic chemistry, where we were doing the functional analysis, the thalene test for resorcinol, hydroquinol, etc., the various different kind of colors, and also the preparations which were involved, the needle shaped crystals. So these this the world of colorful world of chemistry was very fascinating to me. And it is in Lucknow University, with the wonderful department of chemistry, where I used to do experiments of 6 to 7 hours. My interest for love for chemistry generated much more, and more so I thought of becoming a teacher, first because of my father himself, who was a teacher in army, and also because I had passion both for teaching as well as research. So teaching in higher education was my choice, because it gave me platform for both the things. I could teach also to children, at the same time I also explore and work for my passion of research, which I developed while working in Central Drug Research Institute, which provides us a very thorough, strong, full training for being a passionate researcher and a scientist. But I chose to become a teacher in higher education. Yes, very truly said, ma'am. It was having both good and the challenging aspects in it. And when I look back, I feel it a privilege and a very fortunate thing to have explored so much. But when I was young, one thing that I really felt very sad about, because we had to leave our friends in every 2 years. Papa had transfers, so before I could settle down to a new school, it was time to change. And one of the most important thing that I always lost was the certificates that I used to acquire during the activities in the schools. I was also the head girl and the all-rounder best girl in class 10th. And this was because I continuously participated in lot of activities, but I could never collect the certificates, because the certificates are given in the annual function the next year, and by that time we had moved on. So this really made me very sad, and I started crying one day. And then my father told me, please don't cry for your certificates, because your persona, your personality should speak of the qualities that you have. So please do not restrict it to the certificates, because you don't go and show certificates all around, but you will be speaking and performing all over. So be ready for that. So that was a very big and good inspiration that my father said. And because of the traveling job that my father had, we had little connection with the outside friend and people, and more among us our own family, that is my father, mother, and my two brothers. And that made a lot of a strong bond also with all of us. And my bhaiya is 2 years elder to me, and he's also joined Army Education Corps. He is Major Anurag Pandey. And my younger brother, he is group captain in Indian Air Force. And I myself had qualified SSC, that is Short Service Commission in Indian Air Force, because of all this huge impact that my father and my mother and my family had on us. But I had joined CDRI before that, and this incident is of 1997, and I had got one Young Scientist Award in 1997. So I had a choice to make whether to go for Indian Air Force service, or to continue in my research and academics. And it is where my father guided me that the field of teachers and scientists, where the mind is involved, rather than where the physical attributes are more dominating and required for army and air force job. So he said, you are meant more as an academician and scientist than to be air force personnel. So I chose to continue with my research in CDRI, and that is no, that was a very starting phase. This started in 1995 in India, and I had joined in 1997. I had qualified in 1997, and that was an experimental thing where they used to take women only for 5 years. So I would have not required and not got into any of this. This was more of an administrative post, like where girls were given opportunity to maybe organize parties and to be the part of education system. So my younger brother was already there, so he also guided me, and so did my father. He said, no, that is not the right educational place for you. You are meant to be for the higher things, for the higher education, and not to teach in the army personnel people, because they are very basic teaching is required, which is I mean, they don't respect also much the girls. Accepting girls in their seniors was not a very usual thing at that time. The army personals were being trained how to talk to lady teacher. So because they use lot of slangs when they speak, army personals especially, and seeing a girl in their platform in a classroom, so to have that kind of a respect that I have in university. So that's the men were being more trained for this specific thing than what I needed to be there. So I chose to be researcher. Yes, I was somehow very much focused to give something in society in the form of a teacher, I feel is a very noble profession. And she has an access to a lot of young minds to influence, and to make the nation in take it some direction. And for that am constantly striving, like being here in higher education also. My papa always kept inspiring me to break the boundaries, to take up the challenges in wherever field that I have been. And so here also in working here in Amity also, I try to connect with industry people. I And yes, one more thing I want to just go back again and share with you that this transferable job of my father, which was at that time a sad part for me. It came out to be a boon because I could live there for an year or two with those people, gel with them. So I got to understand the culture, and I got to understand the people and places very closely. So now when I talk to some people from Calcutta speaking Bengali, or someone speaking Punjabi from Punjab, or someone from South India, I immediately connect back to my childhood. And I got a very this quality of adaptability, what you would say, and being very interactive, open, and professional as well, because my father taught me how to really distinguish between the work and profession, and how to very confidently distinguish both the things and work over it. So I can very easily, so this has be given me quality to connect to various people. So when I organize conferences, international, national, reach out to people and students, so I connect with them very very happily. I sometimes talk their language also to my students who come to our university from our university. Amity happens to be a global university where we have students from many other places and states coming to us. So this is one good thing that I have learned from them. And overall I Exactly. And that also made me very curious and inquisitive kind of a person, because going to every new place, seeing new things, and asking papa, because papa was only there always to answer to my questions. I wouldn't reach out to much friends, because this small family circle was a very safe thing for me. So exploring things, being very inquisitive. And another good point that I recall right now is that I got the best thing of the best places from so many different schools. I got to see so many principals. They all have huge impact in my persona and my life. There were a lot of teachers, like talking about science teachers. So every 2 years the science teachers would change, and we would get the best everywhere somehow. And best schools. So maybe if one school is deficient in one thing or the other, in the next school, then the very next year I would be in a new school where I would be getting something new, newer things to learn. So I met a lot of teachers, a lot of principals, a lot of good schools I saw right in my childhood. So this was something wonderful that has made me what I am today. Oh yes, this is something which I have been doing, slightly differently than my university, because I am a part of an Inspire program of DST, where I show, where I perform experiments on stage. So I met a very good mentor in IIT Kanpur, who is HC Verma. He's of physics. He invited me to his show, and then he said that maybe Dr. Jaya, you are the only one who is doing chemistry on stage, because there are many professors and teachers who are doing physics on stage but doing chemistry on stage. So, ma'am, I have done more than 12 shows, 12 to 15 shows, when I really take my experiments to the stage. And this is especially at the places when I address school children. So, these are the places which are the regional science city of Lucknow, and I am associated with the District Science Club of Lucknow. I am also associated with the Vigyan Bharati. So where I am going into schools and telling people uh, a few things, which is, one of it is the magical chemistry, the other is rainbow chemistry, the other is the scientific explanation behind miracles, scientific explanation behind superstitions, and also to generate uh, interest among young students for science, because this is slightly decreasing in India. Lesser people are going for the science core subjects. So I do that kind of a thing on stage, some magic on stage. Exactly, ma'am. And this has had been my objective while going to school, because I especially address the schools which were like girls, orphans, and some remote villages, Gosaiganj, Kasturbaganj. I mean, things like that. I mean, 40 kilometers away. And whenever I got invitation and opportunity, I always went there, and I used to start with the experiment like that I did in IIT also. The first and foremost, these Rishi Muni and so-called Baba and all, they do Havan. Okay, Havan is a very pious thing in India. Havan is like we lit fire in some incense, and or good things are there, we just lit fire is light is a very auspicious thing in India. And we do havan to start any function or a program. So what these Baba used to say, that he would keep something here, and he would say, I would put deshi ghee into it. Deshi ghee is saturated butter. He said ki I'll with my mantra and with my power, I will lit this. I will not light any lighter or any matchstick, and the fire I will produce fire here right in front of you with my magic and my the things like that. So what he used to do, there was a KMNO4 inside. Okay, KMNO4 inside below that Havan Samagri, and then instead of putting ghee, which is refined, which looks like refined oil, but actually what he used to do, he used to put glycerine. Okay, glycerine has similar appearance as refined oil. So I would also go to and do the similar trick, and I'll say कि अग्नि प्रज्वलित करेंगे हम अपने मंत्र से. And it takes like 4 to 3 minutes. So I used to put KMNO4 there and put glycerine, and then I would enchant mantra like my mother has always taught me. Then mantra, and I'll ask everyone to close eyes, and I'll say, see, Agni Devta will come, the god of fire will come, and I will just make him come on stage, and this and that. And suddenly with that chemical reaction, it will happen. And then after everybody's fascinated and awestruck, and then I said ki, there is no miracle, see, there's a chemistry behind it. So like that. Similarly, there were 4 5 experiments, like there are very famous temples here in India, where they would uh, convert chuna into sindoor. They say sindoor is red in color, chuna is white in color. But what happens? They it's just a combination of chemicals. I'll do it right in front of them. Turmeric, you add NaOH in it, it turns red. It appears like sindoor. Immediately it changes color. So like that. And some beautiful reaction was one famous Mandelbrot reaction I used to do. And in that, I used to have a colorless water like this glass. I would put in some chemicals which will not be visible. It will appear just like a colorless glass. I'll put some starch in it and some reaction, and after 15 seconds it will first turn yellow, and then it will turn black. So I'll make 4 5 children stand in a queue, and I'll say ki, I'll tell you who has not taken bath today. The person who has not taken bath, the color of this water will turn black at that time. And actually it was this science, and so everybody would enjoy that kind of things. And then I would give flour to someone. I'll ask my students to give flour, and they will give white flour. I'll have it dipped in phenolphthalein. So very simple tricks. So I will then just pretend to be very angry and then say you are getting white flour, so you should have got some colored flour. So then I'll just spray with my, some yeah, NaOH or ammonia solution I'll take and then spray, and it will become red or pink, and then I'll give it to the chief guest. So that kind of a small magic and some very good reactions also. So I used to convert water into milk and milk beer and beer into ruabza sharbat. So that kind of trick I have done on stage to inspire interest in chemistry. And that is also because right from the beginning I am fond of colors, and I this was the thing which got me into chemistry. So I share it with all other students also, addressing few important issues like superstitions and miracle and rainbow. And also that I used to take currency, rupees from the audience. I'll dip it in some solvent, ethanol or maybe some low boiling solvent, and then also in water, and then I'll lit fire into it. And it is hugely covered in newspaper also. They'll say कि science का कमाल नहीं जला रुमाल. So that was the heading in the newspaper in Hindi. And a lot of such kind of fun activities I do on stage for students, school students as well. So this was I have feedback for my shows which were very hilarious and super hit, and people coming up for science and seeing it in that perspective. Definitely, principals have given me the feedback that girls especially, you know they have generated. Because I myself, when I go into their shows, especially I go in at such places, so I feel that girls see us as a role model and see us as a, someone inspires to become teacher and to become a teacher of science and chemistry. That certainly would have made impact, although I have not done a very quantitative analysis of it. Since you have pointed out, I'll try to. This is very important question, ma'am. This is very near to my heart, and the current research is very important to me because I am trying to exploring ways to change chemical based industry elements with the nature based solution. So I am principally working on the field of in the field of green chemistry, and I am exploring greener synthetic pathways and green reaction conditions, especially working with the green solvents and more efficient green energy solutions. So these are the things that I am presently focusing on. Ma'am, you see that chemicals, they have huge impact on our lives. From the food we eat, from the clothes we wear, the cosmetics, commodities, and also the medicine that we take, everything is chemical. And there's a lot of chemical substances attached to the things around us. And we have to see and we have to think how they come to us and how they are made. So there is the chemical industry, the chemical pharmaceutical industry, which is the largest pollutant of all the industries, and it is the largest source of energy consumption as well. The energy consumption which comes from the fossil fuels, and all the chemicals that we use here in laboratory, they come from the petrochemicals which are coming from the petroleum industry mainly. We are relying very much less on the natural feedstocks. We are relying more on still on the petroleum industry. We have to find ways to make the world cleaner and do a sustainable chemistry which does not harm the human health and the environment. At the same time, it should be economically also viable. So it is a time that the researcher, the industrialist, the scientists, they come together and they emphasize it is very important that we keep into our mind the goal of keeping the environment safe, the human health safe, as well as to rise forward in economy. So these are some of the goals that I have in my mind. And this is where the sustainability in the chemistry will also come. And this generated and this caught my attention right back in 2014. And there from then onwards I am trying to explore, change the ways, the products that we are using, the chemical reaction conditions that we are doing. When it is taken up in the industrial scale, it magnifies and amplifies many times. The chlorinated solvents, they have to be replaced by the safer solvents. That could be the water, that could be the ionic liquids, the deep eutectic solvents, or maybe the solvents which can be manufactured from the agriculture, the nature based solutions. There are ways that have already come into existence where the starch is converted into glucose, the glucose is converted into lactic acid, and the lactic acid is converted into plastics, which is a biodegradable plastic. And many products which are coming, they are coming from the agricultural crop residues, the biomass, the biorefinery. There is a tremendous scope in the scientific and the commercial viability of exploring the biomass in the bio industries. And it is high time that we should switch over from petroleum to the cleaner products. So this is what I my main area of focus is right now. Ma'am, this is important because of huge environmental problems which have come up, which includes the if we talk about the chlorinated solvents, if we talk about some of the very usual practice, like dry cleaning of clothes. Dry cleaning of cloth is done by the chlorinated hydrocarbons. So if it is changed by liquid CO2, so liquid CO2 is a very green solvent, and carbon dioxide is a side product of many chemical reactions. If we can trap that CO2, liquefy it, so that liquefied CO2 has the property of the fluidity, like a liquid, and as at the same time the kinetic energy of a gas. So if your clothes are cleaned in liquid CO2, it is a very environmentally safe practice. Similarly, if I give an example like fire extinguishers, the fire extinguishers, the surfactants used are these fluorohydrocarbons. So instead of fluorohydrocarbons, if we use CO2 or a carbonic acid based fire extinguisher, so after its use, it will not have the negative impact on the environment. If we take the example of like cleaning of water, if we do the cleaning of water with the help of alum, it will again produce lot of chemicals into the water, and then we have to recover alum from the any other place. If we use tamarind, nowadays tamarind is used. If we use tamarind, there is a chemical called kernel from tamarind. So that tamarind, which is a waste product of your bio industry, if you extract kernel and you clean the water with the help of that chemical, not only the water is cleaner and safer, but the product that we are using for cleaning water is biodegradable. So we have to see that the chemical reaction that we are doing, what kind of product we are making, and from which we have which from which reactants, from where the reactants have come, what is the source of the reactants that we are using for making the product. At the same time, the reactions, the chemical conditions wherein what kind of solvent is involved in it, what reagents are involved in it, in what way we are putting the energy into it. With a very simple substitute, like if we substitute the fossil based energy with a microwave energy or an ultrasound energy, or we trap it from the sunlight or something like that, then we are doing a cleaner reaction. A very simple reaction, like if we are doing hydrogenation, if we use a hydrogen gas in that place, so instead of using some harsh chemical, so green chemistry is a way to reduce and to reduce the harmful effect of chemicals which are being used. So my focus is to explore ways to replace these hazardous chemicals in the reactions with the safer chemicals, and also to find out the sources from renewable feedstocks. Like I said, trees are very good source, the agricultural crops, agricultural residues are a very good source. They can be transformed into into the products, the solvents or the chemicals that should be taken as a precursor for doing the chemical reactions. And the chemical reactions should be done in a very safer way. And in doing green chemistry, ma'am, we have to see, plan, strategize, and see the reaction in a very intelligent way, keeping in view the complete life cycle study of the product as well as the reactant. It is high time. Merely getting a project product is not enough. We have to find out that how the product is formed, what are the reaction conditions, whether there could be a better product than this, what is the yield of the reaction. If the reaction is of less yield, then of course then we are going for a lot of auxiliaries for purifying and recovering the chemical. So the reaction yield should be very efficient. So we should design the chemical reactions which are less hazardous, and then the product which are biodegradable. We should use safer solvents, safer energy sources, and so on. So this way, and now all this has to transformed into the industrial scales as well. And I would like to give one more example, ma'am. There is a company in France which is called there's a company in France which makes wine. Okay, so they use cork. The cork is made of wood. So this cork is obtained from trees. The cork is obtained from trees. It has some chemicals, like a lot of chemicals in it, like TCA, trichloroanisole, etc. So that used to change the flavor of the wine also, the wine or the beer also. So what they did, they would first pass this cork in liquid CO2. Now, liquid CO2 is a solvent having the property of fluid as well as the property dynamics of the because it's a supercritical liquid. So what the liquid CO2 will do, it dissolves all the chemical components which are volatile, which are soluble into itself. So the cork is free from any product from the wood or the natural source. After that, they will dip the cork into castor oil, which will fill up all the gaps. Now this will make a high quality, very good cork, which will maintain the quality of the beer and the wine for the industry. At the same time, the liquid CO2, which has extracted all the TCA, that is collected back, because liquid CO2 is very easy to handle. You can again recover the CO2 to the other place, leaving back the residue, and that is sold in the dye or a cosmetic industry or a wood paint industry, where the TCA is utilized at it's a suitable place. So that way they are earning money from the TCA also, and they have increased the quality of their product also. So, and they have trapped all in the wine industry. CO2 is the side product in the fermentation, and they instead of leaving it back in the environment, they are trapping it, and they are using it as a solvent, circular usage of and then they don't have to buy any other solvent, and they are not they're using solvent from petro industry, any petro product or a chlorinated product which would be required here. So this is the smart way of doing green chemistry. Is the smart, we have to look whole picture and utilize every side product. You trap the side product and use it somewhere, and you get money out of it. So that is the kind of thought process which is required, which I am working on. So so these are the kind of things. And also CO2, ma'am, if you use it for extraction purposes. For example, you extract caffeine from coffee. It is very easy, because you put the coffee thing into the liquid CO2. You have your organic product extracted into CO2, and you just filter it, and then CO2 will easily evaporate, leaving back your product in your hand. There is no harmful thing, and the process is very neat and clean, environmental friendly. So this is the kind of outlook, this is the kind of focus which is all. Many industries have now switched over their technologies from the pure chemical based to the smart innovative green chemistry base, where they have just simply by making a simple change, like instead of using the fossil fuel, if you are using microwave or maybe some enzymatic reaction, the yield shifts from say 56% to 96%. So that this is the smarter way of doing chemistry. So this is what I am strongly emphasizing, that do not create waste, collect the waste, use it in somewhere, and stay, uh, like that. The product should be very good, and the process should be very good as well. So it's a high time chemistry people should it, although it has already in, but very soon this is going to take over the entire, because the product of petro industry is going to shoot high. Just as we have shifted from petrol, we are switching over to the hydrogen fuel, the cars and many other energy sources. So similarly, many of the chemical, cosmetic industries and everything, because of the huge health problems. I myself being a student of CDRI, where I'm working on drugs, cancers. So these are the main cause. The chemicals that we are using around, they are the main cause of many of the sufferings, and we should switch and learn the newer ways of doing the chemistry. So this I want, ma'am. uh, yes, I think I tried always to be very focused and good, and yet uh, much more things I wish to accomplish from the higher, larger platforms. So for me, it is very important to stay connected to the mentors, the giants in the field of chemistry, the big minds, and keep on working in this direction in a focused manner, so that it makes a societal impact to the society and industry in a larger way, something like bringing about a complete revolution in chemical industry with the green chemistry methods and this green chemistry thought. Because still, ma'am, many industries, they are not accepting this open heartedly, because they are saying that they don't want to change their ways. So so because when you make all this kind of setup, you try to you think of environment first, then your profit, then you need a proper planning, and you need an entire change in the setup, like I told you, trapping the CO2 and then using it for summer. So you need entire, so mostly people resist change. So this innovativeness should be taught at in all university skills, so that these youngsters, when they take up jobs in industries and in research industries and other places, they emphasize the importance of environment and human health, and keeping the economy as a goal and important motive. They implement these things. So ma'am, there is a tremendous supply needs and in scientific and commercial opportunities within the area of green chemistry and renewables, so which has to be taken up by young people, young university students. Now it is green practices and sustainability, green practices and sustainable chemistry for the betterment of environment and human health, and there's one thing that keeps me going with this goal is sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुर्भवः भवेत्. Which means I see that there is happiness all around. I see that people are disease free. I see that people do not suffer because of ignorance, and they are blessed by God with wisdom. So this is one quote: thinking for all, and wishing and getting blessings for the entire uh, human race and the world. I want to add in this, ma'am, the contribution of my husband, Dr. Paritosh Pandey, who after my father, he supported me in the equal way, in the similar way, always encouraged me, helped me in doing all my professional endeavors. And my son, Sarthak Pandey, who is doing MBBS, studying MBBS, and my daughter, Srishti Pandey, who is doing law from National Law University, Jodhpur. So both my kids had been my inspiration and motivation for keeping me, going, doing more and more, because I'm first role model for my children before the world, and my husband's support for all this. I also want to pay my regards to my guide in my PhD dissertation, which is Dr. Kanchan Hajela, ma'am. At the same time, ma'am, I'm thankful to Amity for providing me this wonderful platform. To our honorable founder president, who is a visionary leader, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan sir, and Chancellor, Honorable Asim Chauhan sir, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Balvinder Shukla ma'am, and our Pro Vice Chancellor, Wing Commander Anil Tiwari sir, and Dean Research, Dr. Kamar Rahman ma'am, and our head and coordinator, Dr. Asita Kulshrestha ma'am. So I'm thankful to Amity and my uh, family, my colleagues and friends who have all the time inspired and stood by me in my professional endeavors. Thank you.